Didn't like our microphone source, but we should be back. We were talking about this severe thunderstorm warning that is now in place for much of the central portion of the Wabbles area. We are watching a severe thunderstorm now pushing through basically where Simpson, Allen, and Warren counties all come together at this point. This is our severe thunderstorm warning again for southeastern Warren County. This does not, I repeat, does not include downtown Bowling Green. Bowling Green's just about out of this. Doesn't include Smiths Grove. This is northeastern Simpson County, but even now the enhanced portion of this is pushing out of Simpson County. Allen County, this does not include downtown Scottsville or points to the south. No severe weather there, but it does include most of Barren River Lake and the western portions of Barren County. In fact, if you look above me, that is the view from Barren River Lake from our WPBM Skycam overlooking there in northern Allen County. You can see the rain is already falling. That's out ahead of the big-time thunderstorm that's working in. And not only will this thunderstorm have the threat of producing winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, it will also currently has what we call a tornado possible tag on it for east central Simpson, central Allen, southeastern Warren, and southwestern Barren County. This warning in place until 10:30 this evening, and this will continue to push to the east and northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So again, this is the main segment here. This is going to be crossing 231 near Allen Springs over the next few minutes or so, and we'll put a track on this as it moves to the north and east at about 45, at least until it gets to the shore of Barren River Lake. And you see, we're talking areas like Allen Springs by 10:09. That's within about 5 minutes. Raleigh Ford by 10:13. Halifax by 10:14. Settle by 10:17. And over toward Port Oliver Ford by 10:23. So we are still watching this area of showers and thunderstorms, now severe. It would appear, as designated by the National Weather Service, this will be pushing just south. The most intense part of this will be pushing south of Drake, south of Alvaton, and really on top of Alvaton right now, pushing east of Plano along 231. So if you know anybody who happens to be traveling on 231 between, let's say, the southern parts of Bowling Green and over towards Scottsville, advise them either just hang on a little bit, or I don't know how many folks are traveling at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night, but rather on the severe side. Woodburn, somebody asking about Woodburn, Elizabeth. Woodburn is technically in the polygon, but this is going to be off to your east, and that will continue to push on off to the east. So places like Matlock, Woodburn, the 65 corridor there is all done. And the wide shot here, folks asking about, what about Morgantown? What about folks, if you're basically Bowling Green and west, you're done with this. This is over for you. Russellville is in the clear. All of Logan County, all of Butler County. I mean, a few showers, but that's it. And within the next few minutes, we can give the all clear to everybody in Simpson County as well. Not a whole lot of severe weather going on into portions of Edmonson County either. Now, some heavy rain, some gusty winds, likely quite a bit of lightning over Brownsville right now, but for the most part, we are not far southern Warren County, well south of Bowling Green, and far northern portions of Allen County. It will be the main threats over the next little bit. We can just about take Simpson County out of this warning, and we will continue to watch this push off to the east and northeast at about 45 miles per hour. There's the latest scan, and it's crossed over 231 just about, but we still are watching this potential, and we'll turn on the velocity because this does have what is called a tornado possible tag on it. That would be likely this area near Allen Springs if we were to see a tornado, and I currently don't have any indication that there's anything on the ground or anything like that. This would be where that would be, east and northeast toward Allen Springs, Raleigh Ford, and Halifax over the next few minutes. Currently, no reports of severe weather, though we do have some reports earlier of some hail. Let me double check our chat here, make sure we're not missing anything. The Drake area near Plano getting hit hard. Jen's asking about Glasgow. That's headed your way. This will eventually make its way toward Glasgow over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. This warning runs until 10:30. And so this storm is moving north and east at about 45. Let's turn the reflectivity back on. The Drake area from a little bit early, so that's pushing east of Drake now. But yes, hail is certainly a possibility, and it doesn't shock me that there is hail falling, or was, at least at one point. The potential is there for hail up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. That's not technically severe, but that will certainly wake you up if you've already gone to sleep. Pushing this out, the core of this storm about 40. 10:14, Motley by 10:14, over toward Claypool by 10:17. This will be crossing over onto Barren River Lake here shortly. Settle at 10:18, Martinsville at 10:20, and we're talking Glasgow by 10:42. So that's past the expiration of the warning, but it wouldn't shock me if this holds together, that we see this last a little bit longer. And get extended into, which is not in this watch, until midnight. But I do think that is likely going to, I think Smiths Grove, this is mostly going to stay south of you, but for the next few minutes. So areas right along the Warren-Allen County line there, as you head toward Raleigh Ford and Claypool, a spin-up tornado. I do think if a tornado were to touch down, it would be likely very brief, likely not very strong, but we don't want to take the chance, especially with these of actually being impacted by a tornado. But if it happens to impact your house, that's going to be a big issue for you. So we will continue to see this push off to the east and northeast. Eddie Smith saying in Round Hill, strong, likely dealing with to the east and or will stay to the south of you most likely, but still right along that corridor there is something we're going to watch very closely over the next little bit. Just checking the list here. So far, so good. No new warnings coming out. But again, this warning for Warren, Northern Allen into Barron County looks to go until 10:30. And you'll have to apologize. We're having a bit of difficulty with our streaming capability. We should be okay, but we're dropping frames occasionally. So just be patient. It should hop back on very quickly. As that continues to push on to the east. Joe DeRosa telling us on X that his temperature dropped 13 degrees in the past half hour, 42 mile per hour gust. This is the front pushing on through. Once this is through your area, we are finished with the severe weather threat during the overnight hours. So let's take full screen real quick our view from our Barren River Lake camera. This is in northern. Some of those are likely insects, but some of that's also rain, as we do have a little bit of light rain falling at that station right now. That is right. That camera, if you're wondering, is right east of Cedar Springs, just south, looking across the lake into Barron County at this point. In fact, let's go ahead and see if we can't turn that camera a little bit and see what we're seeing from other perspectives. If you'll give me just one moment to pull that up on our other screen here. And again, the greatest threat with this is going to be with the potential for 60 mile per hour winds, but this warning does have what we call a tornado possible tag on it. That means that we cannot rule out the development of a brief spin-up tornado. And I would say the greatest threat of that's going to be near Raleigh Ford, but I don't think it's a high threat. There's nothing that's popping out to me that is like, oh goodness, this is something. But we always have to keep that potential in mind with these showers and thunderstorms pushing on through, especially this time of year. There's our view here, some of the rain moving right at the camera. Let's continue to pan over. You can see some of the guy wires there. Hello, pole. All right, let's turn back over, and you can see we're not actually seeing a lot of lightning with this, which is a good sign. It equals that we're likely seeing some weakening trend with this particular cell here that's pushing toward the Scottsville area. Let's turn back. You're looking at the velocity on the radar screen just above my head. In fact, let's switch back to our radar full screen, and you'll see the heaviest part of this thunderstorm is going to be pushing very close to where Warren, Allen, and Barron counties all come together. This is going to be near Three Forks and Martinsville over the next minute or so. Metter along Highway 101 there. So this will continue to push off to the east. It will shortly be out of, it is out of Simpson County, so I think no threat there any longer in Simpson County. If you're in Franklin, you're in good shape. In fact, most of southern Warren County is finished with this as well. Woodburn, in fact, they just trimmed the warning up. How do you like that? Timing on that. Asking you shall receive. We've dropped Simpson County and much of southern Warren County. Tornado possible tag remains on this. But we will continue to see that pushing off to the east. We'll see if the Weather Service decides to extend this as we head into the next little bit. Yvonne's saying that wind is cold. That's right. Everything pushing off to the east. This is basically the cold front pushing through. So that is a cold west and northwest wind pushing in behind these storms, and you will immediately feel the difference. Temperatures are dropping big time on the backside of this as this continues to push through. And just looking at the Weather Service, the wire here at this point. Heaviest of the rain, potentially some small hail near Polkville right now. This is in eastern parts of Warren County. Three Forks, Martinsville, Claypool, even up to Pondsville. This is heading in your direction over the next few minutes. And then I think the heaviest part of this is going to skirt just south of Smiths Grove along Interstate 65. Keela says on River Street in Warren County having thunderstorms with winds. I would believe it, though anywhere west of this line is finished with a severe threat. As we head through the nighttime hours, we are getting much, much colder on the backside of this front that is pushing through. So the severe threat places like Bowling Green, Franklin, Russellville, Adairville, Auburn, Chandler's Chapel, Morgantown, Rochester, up toward Welch's Creek, we're finished out that way. Even Brownsville's right on the edge. But folks in northern Allen County, western parts of Barron County, still need to be watched for this potential. It still has the tornado possible tag on it, which means we can't rule out a quick spin-up tornado. But at this point, that does not look like a huge threat. Looking at the velocity, yeah, I'm not seeing a ton. I think that is some broad rotation near Settle, between Settle and Claypool. So if I had to pinpoint an area where a tornado would be possible, it would be near Claypool, Settle, and Metter. That's going to be pushing toward the shore of Barron River Lake over the next few minutes. But nothing in that says, oh, much, and that is why there is not a tornado warning for this storm. It is just a severe. By far the greatest threat is going to be with the potential for winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour with this storm pushing through. Again, you can see we're starting to get that little kind of bowing segment look to this. That is where the winds are gusting out ahead and pushing things out ahead with this particular thunderstorm. And that will continue to provide the opportunity for strong gusty winds, at least 45 to 50 miles per hour, if not stronger than that, as these continue to push through much of the region over the next few minutes or so. In fact, this thing is still moving at 45 miles per hour, pushing off to the east. The tornado possible tag remains. This warning remains in effect for northern Allen, southeastern Warren, and southwestern Barron counties through 10:30. You see that lightning flash just above me there on the Barron River Lake camera. The camera is shaking a little bit. In fact, as we read off this warning, let's put that camera full screen, and you'll see what we're talking about. Ever so slightly, that Bowling Green. I think we're just about finished with the severe threat in Bowling Green, but the rain and storms continue for a little bit longer as that pushes on to the east. Let's do a track on this from the kind of heaviest portion of this, moving east and northeast at 45 miles per hour. There's a lightning flash there from our Barron River Lake camera. as that continues to push off to the east. Port Oliver Ford here within the next 3 minutes or so. Finney by 10:24. Rocky Hill 10:27. Beckton by 10:31. And finally, as we push toward Glasgow within about 20 minutes. So the potential will be there as we head into Glasgow, with the potential for gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. 88 by 10:47, Lecta by 10:44. So we're still watching this whole thing. I think damaging winds will be a bigger threat here than the potential for a tornado. But either way, it is something to watch. Scottsville is just on the northern fringe of this. You're likely hearing gusty winds, hearing thunder, seeing lightning, but nothing here is technically severe in Scottsville. They are not included in the warning at this point. So we'll continue to watch this as we head into the afternoon. It's certainly past the afternoon, into the evening. Shayla said she's got a thunderstorm warning in Cave City. It is not in effect for Cave City yet. Cave City is in the northern part of Barron County, and the only part of Barron County under the warning so far is the area near Barron River Lake. We'll bring the radar back closer to the full screen, and you'll see the heaviest part of this is about to move over Barron River Lake, so we're going to see it on that camera just above my head. And when we really do see that move in, we'll switch that camera back to full screen. I can see it in the preview window shaking. But this is crossing Highway 101 near Gainesville right now. This will be on top of Cedar Springs in a little bit, and we're not far away from our camera view. Our camera is about 4 miles away. Okay, it's about 2.5 miles away from this thunderstorm that's getting ready to push in. So areas pushing now into western parts of Barron County. The potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail to the size of, I believe it's smaller than Nichols. Nichols is 0.88, I believe 0.75 inches. This severe thunderstorm warning continues until 10:30. We'll see if that gets extended further to the east. I wouldn't be shocked if it does. Through the Smiths Grove area, now pushing into western Barron County and the northern fringe of Allen County, as this continues to push off to the east over the next few minutes or so. We're still about 15 to 20 minutes away from this pushing into Glasgow. So we've still got a little bit of time, but we will, I think, bring down the threat for a tornado. But again, this is a point I like to emphasize. Damaging winds are just that. They can still do damage. 60-mile-per-hour winds are 60-mile-per-hour winds, whether it's spinning or not. So that's why we need to still take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously, because while they usually don't have the greater potential for very, very strong winds in one spot, like a tornado, you can still get 60-mile-per-hour winds pushing quickly to the east as this pushes through over a wider area. Is why severe thunderstorm warnings are still something we pay very close attention to. And this one is about to push across Barron River Lake. In fact, let's bring the camera back full, and you can see those raindrops starting to work in. The camera is shaking from the wind pushing in. We're measuring winds at 6.8 miles per hour right now, though the likelihood is that we will see that increase over the next few minutes or so. Kind of pan the camera over, you can see some of the clouds being, the bottom of the clouds being lit up by the city in the distance there. Really starting to see that camera shake as that wind and rain start to push over Barron River Lake. Remember, this camera is just to the east of Cedar Springs, just south of 31E there, right before you cross into Barron County from Allen County. So that severe thunderstorm warning continues for about another 7 minutes. Likely we'll stick with this for a little while longer, even if the warning is not extended. At least get this through Glasgow. It is almost out of the WABBLES region. Of course, the WABBLES region, that is our coverage area. Warren, Allen, Barron, Butler, Logan, Edmondson, and Simpson counties. Most of us are finished with the severe weather threat this evening. Morgantown, Bowling Green, much of Warren County, Smiths Grove, Alvaton is now done with this. Woodburn area, Rockfield, Plum Springs, we're done. Russellville, Auburn, Lewisburg, Adairville, Chandler's Chapel, Franklin, Gold City, all of our folks there in Simpson County, you're done with this. But areas near Scottsville, you're not in the warning. Likely some gusty winds and heavy rain pushing through, but the main focus over the next little bit excuse me, is going to be the western parts of Barron County, where a very strong thunderstorm, if not a severe thunderstorm, it is still designated severe, is in place, and that will continue to push through over the next little bit. Radar back full screen, you can see the area of focus is going to be near Red Cross, likely some very heavy rain, some very gusty winds, 50 to 60 miles per hour, a possibility, but again, we're going to continue to see those showers showers and thunderstorms pushing on to the east, and very rapidly we will start to see temperatures drop on the back side of this front. As a matter of Russellville, the camera's not there, still 65. Morgantown, come on, okay, switch me radars, that's not what I wanted. Town sitting at 59 already, so we're seeing that cooler air push in quick. And Haywood, and eventually within the next few minutes into Glasgow. That will bring it into downtown Glasgow. If we push this east, you'll see where we're headed over the next 45 minutes or so. Beckton by 10:29, that's within the next few minutes. Pritchardsville by 10:35. Glasgow by 10:37. So we're within about 10 minutes of this, moving into Glasgow. Lecta by 10:42. And Slick Rock there, just south of 68, by 10:46. So again, still waiting to see what the Weather Service is going to do with this warning. This storm is almost out of the warning at this point, and will likely need, I wouldn't say likely, I think the possibility is there that they issue another warning as this pushes on to the east, but we will continue to wait this out here for at least a little while longer, get it through Glasgow, Park City, Cave City. For those of you there, I think that is going to be further to the south. Shayla's asking about Cave City. I think you're still going to get some gusty winds and heavy rain, but the severe weather threat will likely remain to your south, and it looks like the Weather Service issuing a large special weather statement. It'll pop up in blue on the map here in just a second. You'll see, there it is, for this thunderstorm. Likely, let's see. We're pushing winds down on this to 50 miles per hour and hail to a half-inch in diameter. This is still moving at about, so they've upped the speed on this. This is now moving at 65 miles per hour. But the likelihood is that we will see this severe thunderstorm warning let go at the bottom of the hour, right at 10:30. So let's plug in the new forward speed of 65 miles per hour and see where this takes us through the remainder of Barron County. At this rate, it'll be over quite quickly. Glasgow within the next 8 minutes or so. Stovall, Oil City, Carden by 10:33. Coral Hill by 10:39. And Goodnight by about 10:40. Here, by the way, is the current view. You see it above me. You've seen the lightning. This is the current view from our Barron River Lake camera as that continues to push east of the lake. This is moving toward downtown Glasgow over the next little bit. Very gusty winds. Let's see. We've gotten up to 10, 19 sustained. Gusts, 5-minute gusts to 20.8. So we are continuing to see. I think we're just now kind of lower on the, I think the heaviest part of that storm went just north of our sensor there. So, again, it looks like this warning will be allowed to expire at 10:30, within the next couple of minutes. We're just about done with this whole thing. Once we get this east of Glasgow, we're likely going to hop off here just because it will be exiting our coverage area quickly. So areas, Cave City, Park City, likely getting in on some very heavy rain, some very gusty winds. This storm not severe at this point. We will continue to see things pushing off to the east. So the heaviest area of wind is going to be Beckton to Oil City, Haywood to Pritchardsville, Glasgow here over the next little bit. And you even see we've lost some intensity with that as it's come down over the last few minutes or so. If you see that just above my head on the radar view, in fact, we'll zoom it in so you can kind of see very closely what we're dealing with. But that is the view from our Barren River Lake camera from WPBM. Those folks up there where it's very gusty. We're sustained to 27 now. We had a peak 10-second gust of at one point there of 29 miles per hour. Winds now to the west-northwest, so we are bringing in the much cooler air as that pushes through. And we've dropped the temperature now, or the temperature is still sitting at 65, 65.5. Sustained at 29.8, so we're gusting to about 30 or so right now. With the bottom portion of this line, the heaviest part of this line will be pushing into Glasgow shortly. You're likely hearing thunder, seeing lightning as this pushes through Glasgow. The severe thunderstorm warning looks to be allowed to expire at 10:30, which is now. So the warning is expired. We're going to get this thing through Glasgow, and then we're going to hop off because our severe threat will have ended past that point. Once we cross this into Metcalfe County and Hart County and Greene County, it is out of our immediate coverage area and east of our folks. So we'll be finished with it then. But the potential continues for gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, or at least 50 miles per hour, from Cave City all the way down to Barren River Lake at this point, and that will continue to push off to the east and the northeast at now highway speeds of 65 miles per hour. If you're outside of Barren County, your severe weather threat is rather low now. In fact, I would say west of 65, we're done with it for the most part. Areas near Scottsville, some scattered showers, rumbles of thunder, maybe some gusty winds, but the greatest threat will be in the northern half of Barren County over the next 10 to 15 minutes as this pushes to the east. There's the confirmation that we were allowed to expire that warning. The verbiage that the Weather Service is using, the storm which prompted the warning has weakened below severe limits and exited the warned area. The warning has been allowed to expire. Still have the tornado watch in effect for another half hour. It will be allowed to expire certainly at midnight because once we get through that, we are finished with the severe weather threat. And this storm continues to finish, at least to diminish as we head through the evening as well. As a matter of fact, here's the Barren River Lake camera. And we have somebody near the lake saying it's wild right now. You can see all the wind-driven rain as this pushes into past now the lake. And now we're just dealing with the gusty winds. We peaked at about 32.6 miles per hour sustained at the lake, or at least just off the lake from our sensor there. The camera you're seeing has a weather station on it. And yes, the possibility there for those winds to have peaked at about 32 miles per hour. So well below severe limits. But this is headed toward downtown Glasgow, one of the bigger areas of our coverage area. So we will continue with this as it pushes to the east, as it crosses Highway 90 over the next little bit. So folks in Cave City likely getting in on some very heavy rain, some gusty winds. Cave City to Oil City to Haywood, seeing very strong winds. Andrew's asking about Butler County. You're finished. Butler County is absolutely done with the severe weather now. If you're west of Glasgow, your severe weather threat is over. For folks Morgantown, Brownsville, Bowling Green, Smiths Grove, some showers left over, some gusty winds, but the severe weather threat is over from this line of thunderstorms that continues to push now east of Glasgow, or right on top of Glasgow, as a matter of fact. The severe weather threat continues for this one area, but this storm is not severe at this time. But the reason we're watching this, we'll turn the velocity on, and I think we lost the rotational element of this. I think we're done with potential for the tornado, knock on wood. But you see kind of where we have that sharp change in the wind right here. That's that leading edge. Blowing into Glasgow now. Jen says, a little windy in Glasgow so far. She's over by the high school and just a little bit windy. We'll likely kick those winds up quickly as this line pushes through. That's what we saw at Barren River Lake a second ago. We're starting to calm things down, sustained about 11 now, so we'll flip back to the radar, and you can see. Once we get this through Glasgow on the other side of Barron County, we'll hop things off here just because we don't have the severe weather, but this is just the last of it, pushing through the region right now as we head through the evening hours. But, again, we have to keep an eye out on things. This is the spring severe weather season, and so sometimes you can be, stranger things have happened. That was an unintended pun, and I apologize. But either way, I think our severe weather threat is slowly and steadily decreasing for folks in Barron County as this pushes through. And if you're west of Glasgow, your threat is done. Bowling Green, all of Warren County, all of Edmonson County, back toward Brownsville, certainly all of Butler County, Morgantown, back toward Russellville into Logan County and Simpson County near Franklin. We're done with this. Much of Scottsville and Allen County just seeing some showers, but again, pushing into Glasgow now, very potential for winds up to 50 miles per hour as this section barrels to the east at 65. There you can kind of see the push of the winds from the northwest that are kind of bowing that segment out like a bow and arrow. It's that leading edge of the heavy wind out there. Elizabeth asking if Gallatin, Tennessee, with a tornado threat. I think that storm's on top of Gallatin now. I don't think, in fact, just east. I think that one's finished with. But I think that area, the heaviest of that would be further off to the east. But still watching the potential for very heavy rain, gusty winds near Glasgow, and pushing off to the north and east over the next few minutes or so. And again, it shouldn't take long to get this thing out of Barron County. If it's moving at 65 miles per hour, that gets it to the county line within the next 10 minutes or so. So we will continue to push this off to the east at 65. Next up, past Glasgow, we're talking Heisville and Echo. Echo is just over the line there in Metcalfe County. And so, again, continuing to see this on the weakening side, but again, watching out for this area of kind of bowed out wind potential right there pushing through Glasgow as we speak. That's why we're kind of holding, not necessarily the air, we're holding your Facebook feed hostage potentially as this continues to push through portions of Barron County this evening. And again, once this is over with, once this is passed, we are done with the severe weather threat into the overnight. It'll be safe to go to bed once this pushes on to the east. So our folks in Brownsville, Bowling Green, Morgantown, y'all are good. Y'all can go to bed. No big issues overnight. It will be gusty and it will be much, much cooler as we head into the day tomorrow, which, by the way, we're only like 5-6 hours away from the start. I think 5.5 hours away from the start of astronomical spring, and we're going to be watching the potential for scattered snow showers into the day tomorrow. Don't you love March in the Ohio Valley, right? Still watching this potential, pushing to the east of Glasgow. This is quickly pushing off to the east. And if these storms continue to weaken as much as the radar is indicating that they have, we may be able to even let this go a little sooner than we think. Folks asking about Hart County. That's just outside of our coverage area, but that will continue to push off to the east. Most of that's going to be to your south. There for our friends up in Hart County. That's, again, just out on the other side of Barron County, outside of our coverage area. But it's we'll continue to watch it over the next little bit. If we get another downtick in intensity, we'll hop off here just because I think we're really starting to see those that severe threat wane as we head through the evening over the next little bit. They're kind of, these storms are outrunning the best instability that would keep them going. Is the worst over for Cave City? Yes. I think Cave City is finished with this particular heavy round of rain. This is going to be focusing shortly on Heisville areas in the eastern and northeastern parts of Barron County. Once we get that next update, this was as of a couple of minutes ago, once we get that next update, we'll be able to possibly let things go here. The warning was let go 10 minutes ago, but with this kind of pushing through Glasgow, we wanted to stay on at least for that as this continues to push off to the east over the next little bit. Crossing 31E right now into the northern portions of Barron County. And this is the latest scan. So we are continuing to see things weaken as this pushes through. But again, the potential will be there for winds gusting to 50 miles per hour over the next little bit. But again, I think our severe weather threat is really calming down over the next little bit. Looking for Cave City. Cave City's finished with this. Caitlin said it's coming down hard in Scottsville. Wouldn't shock me. You kind of got that parallel thing going on down there across Allen County. In fact, we'll run the last, let's not do 50 frames. Across portions of Allen County. Those will continue pushing off to the east and the northeast. You got the loop on. You see those storms were stronger out to the west, and they will continue to weaken. So I think we are going to be able to go ahead and hop off of Facebook now as the threat is now pushing east of our counties for the most part, and certainly east of one of our bigger population centers in Glasgow. But still, if you know anybody out 68 there near Glasgow, pushing east of Glasgow out toward Lecta, Slick Rock, Coral Hill, Heisville, it's on their way. And even toward 88, but I think even north of 88 is the bigger threat there. South of 88, perhaps some gusty winds. Samantha asking, once this passes Glasgow, is that it? That's it. We're done with this once it pushes through. So most of us are already finished with it. We just wanted to get the most intense part of this through Glasgow, and then we'd hop off, and I think that has arrived. So our severe thunderstorm warning was expired 10 minutes ago. Still the potential for 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts in the northeast part of Barron County. But for the most part, our severe weather threat is quickly winding down here throughout the WABBLES region. That should do it for now. If you happen to have any of that storm damage, we have other incidents like this. I think we're good for a little bit when it comes to the severe weather potential for the next few days at least. But more spring storms will be in the offing as we head through over the next couple of months as we are in the spring severe weather season. But our severe weather threat closing to an end tonight. Weather or not meteorologist Evan Hatter with that check of the continuing conditions out there, but we are finally weakening things down. If there is, for whatever reason, another warning, we'll hop back on, but I think for the most part, we're starting to wind that threat down. I'll be back not that long from now with our morning update with the chilly weather and the potential for snow showers as we head into our Thursday afternoon. Those details in a few hours. Now, for most of us, safe to go to bed.